Welcome back to the Shut Up and Dill podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Nikki.
I'm Vivi.
And I'm Jimbo.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in or watching on YouTube. First, we'll talk a little bit about our sponsors, and then we'll jump into this week's episode.
Yeah. So thanks to our sponsors, 002 Pickleball. They've got some of the best tournaments around, probably the best in our area. You can find them at pickleballbrackets.com. Search 002. Pull up their tournaments. They have a couple coming up that you can find on Pickleball Brackets or on their Instagram. I think they have a list of all their tournaments. Mm-hmm. Good music, like just really vibrant setting. So when you do register for those tournaments, use our discount code DILL when you register. Save yourself some money. Yep. Also, Hands Pickleball Company. They are a pickleball company that they have all kinds of gear, paddles, grips, wristbands, bags, hats. That beautiful hat right there. Check out their website. Check out their social media. We have discount code DILL10. That's DILL 1010. So save yourself some money there. I think it's you can get a 10% discount on any of their merchandise. So check out Hands Pickleball Company. And then we also have the Texas Pickle Hall. Mm-hmm. Sorry. It's going to be a new indoor facility in San Antonio. Super exciting. We are, founding members. We bought in on a membership there. They just had a groundbreaking this past week. We have a discount code DILL10 for all of the founding members. With that discount code, you will save yourself, I think you get 10 free guest passes with those. So founding members, use our discount code and get some free guests in there. So thanks to all our sponsors, and I think we're ready to start the show now.
Yeah, we are. So, all right. I don't know if all of our listeners are super involved with the governing bodies or super knowledgeable, let's put it that way, the governing bodies of pickleball. All sports usually have a governing body that's really keeping, equipment in check and making sure that players are, safe and they're being protected. Also, they're just creating the guidelines, the rules that we play by. Yep. So whether or not you are knowledgeable of what's been the governing body of pickleball, you are playing by their rules because that's how we play in any tournament. And just when you're playing rec as well, the rules are made by, and I always forget names. So,
well, what was the USAPA?
The USAPA.
USAPA.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So USAPA has been the governing body. They've really set the standards, which have come under fire at times.
Actually, before we go on, I think it might just be USAP.
It's association at the end.
Mm-hmm. Then what's the other A?
United
States
USAPA
Association of Pickleball. United States Association of Pickleball.
It's USAPA.
United States of America.
Go maybe USA Pickleball Association.
Intermission,
yeah.
Somebody tell
USA
us.
Pickleball Association. We're super knowledgeable, guys. Mm-hmm. No. Yeah, it's USAPA, but I think it's USA Pickleball Association. I think that's what it is.
All right.
We're Googling, guys.
Yeah, we're
for anybody
Googling.
not watching on video.
But
while we're Googling, yes. So recently, I would say very recently, when we're recording this episode, we don't know when it's going to drop, but very recently, the PPA has come out with a new governing body. Mm-hmm. I'm not even going to attempt to guess the name of that one. I can't remember right now.
Right.
But they've come out and said, oh, we found out. What is it?
Well, it's just USA Pickleball, so it's still USAP. No A at the end.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. USAP. Sorry.
USAP.
So now we have a new organization that is going to be It's basically branched off of the PPA, and the PPA and MLP are going to fall under the standards of this organization. And they've promised to make a committee of players and, well, both pro players and amateur players to help set safety standards, etc. So I kind of got lit up about this. So I'll let y'all kick off before I kind of go into my opinion.
Well, I had no idea.
Okay.
And I don't know what this new federation is. And I had no idea this was happening. So honestly, I just want to hear what y'all have to say so I can learn.
Okay. Well, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna learn.
We're gonna educate you. No, as we know all these names of the organizations. So, do you want to go first, or do you want me to?
No, I mean, I will say, like, for listeners and for you, Vivi, like, it's not just professional pickleball. It's amateurs and tournaments and rec play. I think you mentioned that, but yeah, it's basically when you go out and play anytime, the rules, the gear, everything is should be followed, and the UAP now is the organization that's gonna set the guidelines.
And what does UAP stand for?
Google
You
it.
can Google it.
Lots of Googling this episode.
So, all right. So I sounded off about this
yeah.
pretty quickly. And then as I sounded off, like, I feel like I should do more drops so that people would have like moments in time that Nikki has said, this is what's going to happen. So, so I heard about this happening. What is it? Go ahead. We
It's the
Googled
UPA.
and found out.
UPA.
Okay. UPA. Okay. All right. So there's so many, and apologies for not knowing all of it, but it is getting a little bit crazy about USAP and then
ever-changing.
UPA, and then you have different rating systems now with Duper and USAPA's version or
UTR.
USAP's version, UTR. Yes.
UTPR.
Yeah, it's
UTPR.
UTPR. Sorry. So there's so many to remember. Anyways, going back to this new organization, there was a couple things that I said right away. One, now you as an amateur player have to follow two sets of guidelines depending on what tournament you're playing. So if you're playing PPA, MLP, then you're going to have to go under this new one. So if they say, so this is a great example, the Yola paddles, the Gen 3,
Right.
that USAP has not banned them, has not said that they're not allowed to be used, and the APP is going with USAP standards as of now.
Right.
The PPA, though, and this new organization came out guns a-blazing on two things. So one, Gen 3, gone. So no one was allowed to play with them in the recent tournaments. And if you play in a local tournament that follows those rules, you can't play with your Gen 3 paddle, right? Number two, they did a really hefty fine of somebody that was found to have had a material on their paddle that was not allowed.
Yeah. It was
They
like
had
a
never played.
foreign substance. Yeah.
Foreign substance on the paddle. They had never played with the paddle in anything, but they accidentally sent it in, and it was found. So they got a $50,000 fine, which is the largest fine.
6 months suspension.
6 months suspension,
and
yeah.
a
Oh, I thought it
1
was a year. Oh,
year probation.
year
Yeah.
probation, 6 months suspension.
Which is a heavy hand, really quick. But the other thing I said is there is no way, as great as I feel the PPA runs everything, and I'm being wildly sarcastic for anybody not seeing video, there is no way that this can be an unbiased organization.
Yeah.
Absolutely no way. And I'll give you an example of the ball. Right? So the PPA this year created a partnership with Vulcan, and that is the ball of PPA tournaments. And it is literally the worst ball I've ever hit with.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's awful. It like deforms within a warm up.
Right.
You're now seeing them switch out balls after every game, which they didn't do before
Yep.
in PPA. And now you see players constantly hitting the ball in the air.
Yes.
See,
Yeah,
did you
check
notice
its
that at
check
that
its form,
tournament?
Check the rotation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, like, I don't mean to cut you off, but last year with Duras in the summertime, I mean, the same thing. The balls were melting. remember there was a shot where they said the ball decompressed, like a pickleball decompressed. It just never came up off the ground. And then, obviously when you play, they were using a Franklin X40 in the summertime, and there was complaints just how slow and mushy that ball is. We all know how mushy that ball is. So, the ball has never been figured out. I'm not saying Vulcan's any better than any of those. It seems like players are, I'll let you touch on it, but it seems like players really aren't able to speak out about how much they dislike it, but doesn't seem like they're happy with Vulcan either. But I don't know that they've ever been happy with
any of the balls that they play with.
Yeah, I think the ball is ever-changing technology. But I will say I think the Vulcan's the furthest away from any ball that I hit with. I've hit with it a few times, but in one of my first hits, literally in the warm-up, it was warped. Like instantly. And I have heard that pro players are not happy with it.
Right.
But they are signed to agreements saying that they can't publicly say that. So when you have all signed players, and this is why I say you naturally can't be unbiased, and whatever organization you're creating or whatever groups for feedback, if it's made of pro players that can't actually share their feedback because they're signed to agreement saying that if it's a major partnership, you have to represent it positively. Then how can that be unbiased? And then just the choice of the Vulcan ball had to be money motivated. Let's be clear. Had to be motivated because there are better balls, even though they're not great. There are better balls. And I understand high heat, especially in Texas, that's tough to withstand. But the Vulcan ball wasn't even high heat whenever it started to deform.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Just bring plenty of balls. Hopefully the PPA is.
And that reminds me, the Vulcan ball is like $4 a ball.
Yeah, it's super expensive.
It's crazy expensive. And then for an amateur player, if you're playing with it at the PPA, that means to practice, you have to spend money on this Vulcan ball.
That's what I was about to bring up. Yeah. Well, no, not that. But I was going to say at the PPA, why are amateurs not talking about it? Why is...
Amateurs do. They don't play with the Vulcan ball.
They don't play with the Vulcan ball?
No, I don't know about at the PPA tournaments. I don't know if they're playing. Actually, it's a good question. I would think that they are.
I think they're playing.
But I will say amateur players, all of the amateur players that I've played with that are playing with the Vulcan ball, to get ready for a PPA tournament, all of them hate it.
I haven't heard anything yet.
Ooh.
I might start asking around. I would
ask around.
I want to know firsthand.
Yeah.
I think we were playing earlier today, and somebody had a Vulcan. And
earlier today?
Yeah.
Not you.
Yeah, I forgot.
But it was kind of like, hey, do you have anything that's not a Vulcan? And you're like, yeah. And I'm just like, and then one of the guys out there was like, why would anybody choose to buy a Vulcan?
Yeah.
Because you're getting ready for a PPA tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a money grab. I get it. Yeah.
Vulcan must have paid a lot of money.
Well, yeah, I mean, baseball. I know I always talk about baseball, but anytime the ball hits the dirt, on a pitch, a wild pitch that's in the dirt, catcher will automatically, if the ball gets past him and nobody's on base, he'll just automatically reach like that. Umpire gives him brand new ball. So they're going just about every sport is going through a bunch of balls. It's not that much different, for players to not like the shape of a ball after it's been used so many times. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's pretty common. Tennis, they change out every game or set or
every set.
Every set.
I mean, but they have a lot of balls in rotation.
Yeah, okay,
yeah, it's not just 3 balls in rotation. They have a lot of balls in rotation.
We're talking
professional. We're talking professional.
No, no, I know.
But then it's a ton of balls, and then they all get replaced in between the set. But I get that, but you weren't doing that before Vulcan.
Yeah.
You were not changing them out every game. That's...
Well,
yeah, multiple in a game, I think. I'm sure the Vulcan ball is getting changed out multiple times within a game to 11.
Well, I don't know if I can bring up this documentary, but you're kind of helping. Was this saved for another episode, or was this?
No, go for it, because we actually did not write it down anywhere. So yeah, go for it.
Well, I think that maybe
Didn't write it down anywhere.
pickleball.
We didn't have it in our list of what we're recording, but yes. And before you say it, I'm sorry, apologies, but there is a pickleball documentary
coming out
that's
very
coming
soon.
out.
Maybe Friday, I think I said.
Oh, wow.
That quick?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I don't know.
So, yeah, it'll come out before this
not
episode
prepared.
drops.
Okay.
Yeah. We were talking about this earlier because I think I sent it to you or you sent it to me, and I think that pickleball players are. I think that this is going to be no different than any other sport. Pickleball players are super snooty, and all they care about is soon is just going to be money and.
Fashion?
Nope. What's like being famous?
Fame?
Oh, yeah.
And I think, we sent that trailer to each other and you said, like, I don't want this documentary to come out and make pickleball players look like all they care about is the money and the benefits. And I said, these are professional athletes we're talking about and young. A lot of pros are younger. And I think, it's inevitable. And I think it's going to just become super snooty, and we are going to be complaining every other game.
Yeah.
Like,
Are you talking about amateurs? Or are you talking
no,
about
I'm talking
pros?
about pros. I'm talking about pros.
Well, also too, I think maybe my message didn't come across right in Instagram. So what I was saying is that in the promo, they show them buy like inexpensive vehicles and popping champagne, and it's just a party, right? And you have Hannah on it saying there's a lot of money behind it, and you're seeing, ALW's vehicle and the big van the bus that she, has going around. What I was saying is that rewind 6 months ago, they were talking about how inadequate the pay was, how they were having to have second jobs in order to survive, that they didn't have health benefits. So, and now you've got in that same timeline, because you didn't record this yesterday, in that timeline, you were recording this super elitist thing showing all the expensive cars you're in and all the trips you're taking and the champagne you're popping and the big vehicles you're buying. And like, okay, this doesn't add up. You're saying that there isn't money, or saying we need better money, we need better benefits, but then you have this thing coming out.
Also in that trailer, it was, I think, Yates, Paris, Annalee, and I don't know if Ben was even in it.
I think McGuffin was in there as well.
So those are top 10 players, and Tyson McGuffin does not have another job. Annalee does not have another job. Paris does not have another job. She models, but that's not really another job.
Yeah.
And
I would think that's pretty lucrative.
what is?
A modeling job.
Well, no, yeah, but it's like not like she's out there searching for like.
But didn't
contract.
Paris, am I wrong, but doesn't Paris, isn't her family pretty wealthy?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, what I'm saying is in that trailer, it was the best players who are getting paid the most. So Hannah Johns probably did need another job because she wasn't getting paid that well. So it was like 5 and below, like top 5 and below. Yeah, they needed new jobs. But the people in that trailer, they didn't need another job, and pickleball was paying them just fine. And
I don't think we've ever heard any of those. I know Annalee has never spoken out about money.
I get that, but is that representative of pro pickleball? This
absolutely
when you're
not.
talking about we're coming out with a documentary on what it is to be a pro pickleball player.
But we don't know.
And you have
we just saw a clip.
Yeah,
right?
from the clip. And that's why I
hopefully
said I hope it doesn't make it look this way, because
hopefully it
I
shows
think
the
that's a
struggle.
super high elite level, like that you're not really getting. Not everybody's there. Most it's a grind, and even the PPA has made them agree to X amount of coaching during the year, and they have to not only show for and it's every weekend, and it's a lot. I mean, so I really do hope, and from that trailer it does not look like it. I hope that they do, if it's a documentary about being a pro pickleball player, that it is not this elite group that really is seeing financial gains because not everybody.
Well, if it's called the documentary is called Dream Breaker. So I have a feeling, yes, it's about pro pickleball players. It's not about the struggle, and it's most likely going to be a lot of MLP, like Premier League players.
When I hear Dream Breaker, I think of like broken dreams. Like you set out to do this, and it's not really that. You know, I don't know.
I guess we'll see.
I guess it's probably going to come out. If it comes out Friday, then it's probably going to drop.
Y'all, we're
We'll
going to have a
see.
watching party
Yeah.
if it comes out Friday because I'll be back in town and we are going to have a watching party and we're going to have to like
Live stream.
I think we need to live our opinions. Yes,
Yeah.
I do. Yep. So now I do want to say, like we talked about the organizing, the organizing body, the ball, the Vulcan ball. I do want to give a shout out to like the Selkirk ball.
That's a ball. That's a solid ball.
We like that ball. I like Dura.
Solid
Sorry.
ball.
Dura's my favorite.
Yeah.
But I like the Selkirk right now, too.
Selkirk, I feel, is
Solid.
fast. I feel like it's heavy. Like we've
Yeah, I
played in
agree.
some windy matches, and it. I mean, yes, it's gonna move. It's a pickleball, but I feel like it plays better in the wind. It's definitely more durable. I think we've had one
One break.
break.
And they'll replace it.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you keep it, they'll replace it.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of the Selkirk ball for sure. Yeah.
Agreed.
Shout out to Selkirk.
Shout out to Selkirk.
Yep.
All right. So,
New sponsor. Just kidding.
We do.
I mean, I did love their paddle and I love their balls.
Oh, you're using a Selkirk.
Make
now.
it
That's
happen.
right.
Did you forget?
No, I'm just telling
You're
everybody.
doing it with I changed to Selkirk.
It was
so.
too popular, too mainstream.
You wanted
for
to
a
join
long
the
time.
bandwagon.
So I actually did not. I tried Selkirk years ago, and one of the reasons I would not consider them again is because they were too, like everybody had one, and they're constantly handing them out like candy. And
Dude, yes.
but then I realized like somewhere like a couple weeks ago, I was thinking about changing again, and because mine were having problems, and I said, you know what? Now that I really sit down and think about it, I actually don't hear about that many paddle issues with Selkirk. So I'm willing to spend the money if it's not going to, delaminate and do all the other stuff. And then I found a paddle that I really, really, really like.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's definitely one of the brands that you don't hear a whole lot negativity about inconsistency.
Yeah.
And yeah. I think Paddle Tech is one of those too. They did have the Edge Guard.
Both
a
made
few
in the
years ago.
USA. And I will say that the store that we usually go into said that they've only had to send back 2 Selkirks before in the time that they've been open. And like it's crazy fast. The replacement for them is like a couple days. So, so anyways, yep, I'm Selkirk now. Selkirk ball. Yep.
All right.
All right. So thank you guys for listening. Let us know what you think about if you have an opinion about the organizing. If you don't, you might want to check out the
you have a-
tournaments that you're going
If
to.
you have a Gen 3, you probably have an opinion about it.
Well, future episode.
Yeah.
So, okay. Thank you guys. Check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
TikTok.
Share your opinions, like and share. And thank you guys for listening.
Yeah. Thanks, y'all.
Bye.